Pledge of Allegiance. I'll ask Mayor Pro Tem Devaney, if she will, to lead us in our invocation.
Okay, if everybody would please bow your heads. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for all of our blessings. We thank you for the town we all love so dearly. We ask that you bless this new school year for the teachers and the students. We ask that you continue to give us strength as we move forward in our town. God, please continue to lead us, guide us, and in your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Councilperson Robinson, if you would, let's take the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please be seated. We have introductions. Mr. Hopkins, again. Who want to lead you?
Jim Hoffman, Town Attorney.
Dana Luther, Interim Town Manager.
John Doggett.
Lynn Williams Devaney.
Tim Sessoms.
Janelle Robinson.
Jonathan Hamilton.
Jeff Bacon, acting town clerk.
And moving on to item number 4, our consent agenda. Is there any discussion on the consent agenda? Would anyone like to make a motion?
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion that we approve the agenda as written for this evening.
Have a motion, we have a second.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
We can make note of you don't
Is he on the phone?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess we need to announce that Councilperson Heath Clay is not here in person and is attending by phone. Heath, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi everyone, Heath Clay. I am attending remotely. I'm traveling and could not be there in person. Thank you.
Thank you. Item number 5, announcements.
I just want to, saw Nikki Wagner here with Summerfield Farmers Market. Just want to say hello and tell everybody that she's doing a great service in the farmers market. I know Janelle frequents it as well. It's open Wednesday 4 to 6:30 and Saturday 8:30 to 12:30.
Great, thank you.
And I just wanted to make an announcement about our upcoming Music in the Park. It'll be on 8/24 at 6:30 p.m.
Any other? Okay, hearing none, we'll move on to item number 6, the Emergency Services Report, Summerfield Fire District.
I had it this morning.
I'm sorry,
I said I had it this morning. No, the fire.
we don't have a fire report?
It's here.
It's
Oh, you do have?
It's all in the packet.
Okay, nobody's going to present.
He's trying to get to it.
And it's front to back, so everything's not separate.
You want me to do fire too, or you just want to do?
Yeah, if you,
Okay,
if you would do both, that'd be great.
So, fire-related calls was 23, EMS-related calls was 62, other calls was 40, total calls was 125. The Guilford County Sheriff's Department report, 239 calls and 1 case report, 13 case reports, excuse me.
Thank you. Is that both? You get both?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Item number 7, please be aware of the attachments for the council from all of our committee reports, board reports, minutes, and Mr. Pitcher, you want to share something, Steve? Please.
Hi, I'm Bruce Peterson, Chairman of the History Committee. I'd like to check in with you every couple of meetings, let you know what we're up to, or not up to. I want to mention, I think it's going to be mentioned later in the meeting, but we've lost a member of our committee, Andy Schwasser. And he's been on the committee longer than I was. I think I've been on it 8 years, he's on longer than that. And he was really a good hand. His brother died 2 years ago. And he just passed away this summer, so it's quite a loss for the committee. We've added 2 new members to the committees, and now with Andy's demise, we're still 1 short. So if anybody, you know, if anybody that wants to join our merry band, we'd love to have them. We've had a pretty slow summer. I've agreed to serve as chairman for 1 more year, and Mark Reynolds served as vice chairman. We're getting a little long in the tooth, and we need a youth group on this committee, so we're trying to persuade some of the younger people who are ladies on the committee to take over. So hopefully this will be my last year as chairman, and I should stay on the committee. Margaret activity, we produced 2 plaques for 3 historic buildings at the Cruises Crossroads, the Martin House, the Gordon Hardware, and Town Hall. And we're planning on, in the fall, doing a little ceremony at the Town Hall and present those plaques and so that they can be attached to the buildings. And they're basically a short summary of the history of the buildings. We got a little follow-up work to do on Oakville Church. We need a marker down there given the history of that church. And also we need to do a little indexing on the graves. We can do a better job of knowing what's there. In the way of new work, the Center United Methodist Church over in Lake Brant has contacted us and would like us to do a ground penetrating radar study of their cemetery. The church dates back to 1820. Hezekiah Saunders is buried over there. There's a lot of unmarked graves. I'm not quite sure whether it has always been a Methodist church or whether there's some Quaker graves in there or what's there. But we've agreed that we will do that. We have it in the budget, and that's something we'll do probably this fall. We also were approached by Angie Caney, who's chairman of the PTA at Summerfield, and she noted that the first building on that site, first school building on that site was built in 1924, so here we are 100 years. And she thought it might be a good idea to do a little commemoration, a little ceremony to recognize this. But she didn't know too much about the school. She's an Iowa gal from Osage, Iowa. I'm an Iowa boy from Cedar Falls. We used to play them in football. We have a real tight connection. It actually, we didn't, you know, she first came to me, I was trying to think what we know about this. Well, when we started putting our heads together, we actually know a lot. And thanks to Gary Brown, who is the ultimate researcher, he came up with a lot of information on the first school. The education in this town goes back to a brick house over here where Sidney Porter started teaching over here on 150. And then, of course, we had the academy that's still around. We had the high school, first high school, which was situated over there right next to the town hall. And in 1924, we had Summerfield School, which actually turned out to be a multi-grade school. And that was torn down, it was 1983, did I have that right?
Something like that.
And the new school was built at that point, the school that's there now. But we actually came up with quite a bit of information for Angie. And probably enough that we ought to put some of that together and put it on the website under our tag on the website so that people understand. We're trying to finally get a marker for the old brick church. The old brick church that's out over there in the church on 220, the church used to be the Lutheran church, I think it's now a Korean church, sat in that parking lot right there. We know exactly where it sat, and Gary was able to trace it. And that school was the school for Summerfield for, gosh, almost 80 years. So we have a marker, and we're trying to get it produced. There's an outfit out in Ohio that I've been in touch with that's got it on their schedule. It's custom work, and they promise that they're going to do it in August, and we're in August, and so we'll get that back, put it up. Otherwise, that's pretty much what we're doing. Any questions, comments?
Thanks for helping Angie with the 100-year mark.
Yeah, I'm anxious to see what she's going to come. I think she's going to come back to the next meeting and we'll see what she's got. If she needs more help, give it to her.
Excellent.
So, okay.
Thank you, sir. Any other committee reports? Anyone here make a report? Okay, item number 8, public comments. We just ask that You got 3 minutes to make your public comments. Please come up, give us your name, your address, and your 3 minutes will begin. And so we'll begin with Teresa Perry.
My comments tonight is about the water line, and I just want to know that we do not need a water system in our town, and that it is illegal to use public funds to improve private property. Let me repeat that. Illegal to use public funds to improve private property. Now, I know y'all keep up there sitting at that table going, we don't want mandatory hookup. Y'all keep saying that. However, I know every system that's ever been water study been done, it is a mandatory hookup. Now, if you want to sit there and put a water tower up, coming from underground, going into a water system, putting in a lines, and you're going to be charging people for their own water. They get free. Now, I hope y'all could sell that. And then you'll also be providing, because y'all want to use it as a fire protection, that you will be taxing Summerfield people for using this water outside their taxing district. Summerfield's either 23 or 26 square miles, fire department's either 43 or 46. They're double the square mileage than we are. And so to me, that would be triple taxing me for water. The fire department already said they're going to protect our homes from fire. And all this water is going straight up Summerfield Road. That's not helping the fire department. I don't know any property on Summerfield Road that could use this water. My understanding is they're taking care of, they were trying to get their situation, the fire department's trying to get their own situation straight. Summerfield does not need a water line to go up Summerfield Road. It ain't nothing but a start of a water system, and there's plenty of property down Summerfield Road that doesn't have housing that could increase the property if water was put in front of it. So again, I want to reiterate, it is illegal to use public funds to improve private property. Thank you.
Thank you. Give
Gail Dunham, 5805 Stanley Drive, Summerfield. I noticed the 45 minutes, or 45 pages of minutes, and it was hard to read. I couldn't read it before the meeting. And also, you haven't, there's a tremendous amount of business that was conducted during 23 and earlier this year in closed session. There should be some minutes there. If we can't see them now, maybe we can see them later, but there's business conducted, and I think we should have that. Congratulations, you just hired the 10th law firm for this town. In a year and a half, we've got 10 law firms, about 25 lawyers. You had $500,000 in legal fees in the last fiscal year that ended June 30th. Guess what? You got $600,000 in this year for legal fees. And I have no idea the new one, what you're exploring it. I think, and how many attorneys are still on the payroll. Special thanks to Jeff Bacon, David Luther, Jim Hoffman. We've got 3 tremendous staff people that are being, I think you're abusing them. You're expecting so much from 3 people. This is something that 10 people used to do. I really think that you should table your capital projects, at least table water and ANY till you've had a chance to look at it. There's a lot you don't know about water. I know one thing about water, no one's going to sell us water. And I also know that in this document that has been withheld for 2 years, you're saying that it isn't just 6.1 million that you're going to spend. It's a blank check. And it requires to have the potential to hook up from outside the limits. No one is selling us water. To build a $7 million tower, because you think that you'll get water maybe 7 years from now, does not make any sense. And every project that you're doing does take time from your staff. I feel that you have been abusive to them with all of your demands, that all of these big projects have to go forward. There's no reason why these things can't be delayed 6 months. The one project that does have a timeline is Bandera. Bandera is probably the only one that has a timeline because the plan is pretty much done. I'm not sure if you've worked out everything with the, I'm not sure if you've worked out everything with the details with the contractor, but that was the only one. But the water, there's so much going on in this town. We have with David Couch property, he might be doing something with water. You don't know what the future's going to bring. But somehow, Lynn, you got it in your head. Boy, we got to spend that 6.6 million. We won't spend any more. And that's not true. You say this all the time. That's not true.
Time. Thank you.
That's the other problem. There's nothing for the public here.
Kyle Stalls.
Kyle Stalls, 7823 Wilson Farm Road. I just wanted to take this opportunity to thank everyone in leadership and citizens in the town who put in time and sweat and tears on our fight in Raleigh over the last few months. I was there quite a bit myself. It was absolutely exhausting for anybody else who was there. I'm sure you can vouch. While we had a whole ton of people help, I wanted to bring a special attention to Lynn for really working tirelessly on it. I communicate with her a lot, and her passion in this fight was unmatched. It was really a thing to see. But aside from thanking everybody here in Summerfield, I think we should thank the folks in other towns. And I know we've released statements. I know we can sing cards. We can do all manner of things. But what I think we should do, this will be something, if leadership is interested, or possibly just citizens as well, we need to get somebody in front of the councils of I think about 10 to 12 other towns who issued resolutions supporting us. Because I think at this point, it is obvious that they did so at great risk to themselves. And while communication remotely is great, I think it would be really good if we could get somebody in front of their councils to issue a public thanks for the support. Because those resolutions, we lost the fight, but they still counted for something, and it was a fight we had to have, and they were not obligated to support us. And they may face consequences for doing so. So I'm personally willing to take 2 or 3 of the council meetings of other towns to go make public comment. All of them have openings for public comment where you can just go publicly thank them in front of their citizens. If anybody else is willing to help out with that, I think everybody in leadership can get my information on the planning board. I'm willing to help schedule that. If you want to try to take a town, I can tell you where they have their meetings, what time they have them. But if it is considerable for one, I would do it myself, but this one, it's a little much for one guy with 2 kids under 5 to take. I just wanted to float that idea and issue my thanks and say I really think we should get in front of other towns to publicly thank them for supporting us. And depending on how that goes, if the energy's there, to do so with the representatives and senators who supported us as well. Because I think it's obvious now, some of them did so at the expense of political capital, at the expense of maybe some of their relationships in Raleigh. While I was not naive going into making the efforts in Raleigh, I am a little more cynical now. but we did meet quite a few really good people, and it is my time. So thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
Time. I started my little lap.
Oh, okay. I appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Nikki Wagner.
Hi guys, I'm just here on behalf of the Northwest Guilford Farmers Market. We have been,
I'm sorry, Ms. Wagner. Can you get your name, your address?
oh, I'm sorry,
No
it's
problem.
Nikki Wagner, and the location of the Farmers Market, 7200 Summerfield Road. And we've been in season for 2 years, and we just need your help and your support coming out to shop with our vendors. We want to make sure you guys get the best farm-to-table freshness that you can every week. We offer out different activities like yoga and live music on Wednesdays. We have a food truck that comes out every most Wednesdays. And we have different events that come up throughout the season, like our apple pie contest and our dog days of summer that's getting ready to come up in August. Everything you know that is at the local farmers market is with local. It's within a 60-mile radius of the location of the farmers market. You'll get to know where your food comes from. You'll get to know the farmers that produce it and the makers that make it. You get to ask questions, you get to tour their farms, and you definitely get to know their processes. Our goal at the Northwest Guilford Farmers Market is to build relationships, get to know your neighbors, and to help build community one vegetable at a time. We would love to meet with you guys to help you guys if we could work together to come up with a plan to how we can work together to make this the best farmers market around. Our hours are Wednesdays from 4 until 6:30 and Saturday mornings from 8:30 to 12:30. And we are in season from the beginning of May until the October 30th of this year. And then we'll have some pop-ups during the winter as well. So I would love to get to chat with you, but I hope to see you guys all soon.
That's great. Thank you. Any other public comments? Yes, sir. If you'll please give us your name, your address, that'd be great.
Yeah, my name's Robert Pitter, 5401 Fort Trail Road in Summerfield. I just have a question come through my desk, and I just see what I read in the publications and all about. Is what next, or is it even possibly anything next? And I'm of the view that I would appeal this or chase this as far as I had to chase it. And so that would be my encouragement to you. One thing that's been really surprising to me is I had presumed or thought I'd read that all of the property in question was in one big spot. It's not. It's scattered all over Summerfield. There's 3 acres here, 2 acres there, an acre there, which is completely bizarre to me. I know some legislators from eastern North Carolina who actually voted for it because it was moved in with their bills, and they're now shocked, and I'll talk to them to find out the constitution of all of it. They're very surprised. They said, wow, we just amazed. And it just didn't know, or didn't appear to know. Let me change that. I do appreciate you guys very much, and I really mean that. But if you can comment on it, is there any avenue next? If it is, I hope you can share it, or if you can, I'll understand that too. But I would encourage you to pursue it. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Bill. Anyone else? Okay. Close our time of public comments. We're going to item number 9, any response or questions from council, manager, or attorney to the public comment.
I'll address a few. Former Mayor Dunham talked about the staff. Just want to say we are very, very thankful for Attorney Jim Hoffman, Interim Manager Dana Luther, Jeff Bacon over here as the clerk. Very happy to have him. I'm very thankful, and I think everybody up here, to a great extent, that's true for. As far as Kyle Stalls from the Planning Board, I think that is an excellent idea. Give me a call. I'll talk to you about that and figure something out, because we've definitely been discussing that as well, both for the General Assembly members as well as the individual towns. There were a lot of folks that stuck their necks out for us. And to kind of go right off of that, talking about the de-annexation, with your issue talking about is there any avenue, I think, going forward, we are currently discussing that and exploring our options. Because we are talking about it with our attorneys, a lot of that, of course, is private and confidential. at some point, I think we'll divulge a little more when we can, but at this point, we are exploring those options. So, and very thankful for the farmer's market, and I think you wanted to reach out, have us meet together at some point. I know I'd love to talk with you at some point.
That'd be great.
So,
That'd be great.
thank you. And I'm trying to think if there's anybody else that said anything. Teresa, I think you talked about the fire protection, right? Or the water?
Yeah, the water used
Yeah,
for fire protection.
I actually noticed, I want to say, and I can't quote it exactly, but I believe the fire chief, what is his name?
Chris Johnson.
Chris Johnson. I believe the fire chief actually put something out recently, from what I was told. I haven't got to really see it, but I was told that he was very critical of the plan. So I'm actually open to looking at it again and exploring.
They do have their annual report this month.
Last Monday of this month.
I think we ought, I think one of the things he said was he hadn't talked to anybody here really in a long time. So I think we ought to sit down with him and have a good conversation. So, but thank you all for coming.
Any other responses?
Kyle, I'm in, and I've already written thank you notes to legislators and senators, so, that I'm going to go into those meetings.
Thanks, Lynn.
I am too, of course. And Nikki, we had talked, and he is on the phone. He had mentioned also wanting to see how the town can support the farmers market and help get the word out. So we will be brainstorming ideas to support the market and help our citizens know when it is and where it is.
Yes, we appreciate that.
Yes.
Anyone else? Item number 10, business from the manager.
You have in front of you the grant application for the Great Trails State Program. Bob Palmer McIntyre was gracious enough to complete the grant application, and as you can see, it's quite extensive. The grant, all the details about the grant are there, the instructions, the match, the amounts you can request, everything. We provided everything to you. If you're not, it was short notice. She's been working on it, and if you would like more time, we should have another meeting in August, but it is due September 5th to the state, so we need to move on it quickly, but I want all of council to be comfortable with it. We're requesting the maximum, which is $500,000, which would be great towards Bandera. It's to go towards the Greenway, which is one of the stipulations within the grant of what you can ask for. So I hope that you've had a chance to look at it, but if you'd like additional time to look at it, then we can move it forward. If you have any questions about the application, there are lots of details in there. She has a few more maps that she wants to include in the grant application. I read through it. We just got it this week. She's been working very hard on it. And so if you have any questions, I can try to answer them. If you want more time, we can extend it a little bit. So we're open to whatever council would like to do at this point regarding the grant.
I'm ready to move forward with it. What was the date, the due date for this was in September?
Yes.
Yeah, it's like September 5th, I think, isn't it?
And so we need council approval prior to that.
So we need to make a vote tonight, or actually vote on it, or just a consensus?
I'd like a vote, and if you want to move forward with these, because of course there is the match. So it's a quarter match, so of 100%, 25%, and then we would provide the other 75%. So just as long as council's comfortable with that. Now what we can look at is the different match opportunities against that 75. I know some of the other grants, you can use another grant as part of that 75 and so forth. So we'll look at all that. I know that Bandera has come in at a higher budget than anybody had expected with the cost increases and inflation. So we're looking at reducing those costs, but the town will have to, in the end, put some funds out. So this is another way to get additional funds and less that the town will have to put out. So to get anything that we could do to get that 3.25 that we currently have up higher is great. And we're very thankful that Palmer McIntyre was able to put this together for us so that we can move forward with this.
And I actually have not had a great amount of time to review it, but as far as what I understand, it is Bandera, it's for, you could use it for the purpose of pursuing Bandera.
It's for Bandera, the greenway that's going through Bandera.
And so if we, you said we're going to have to put some money out, but we're going to put money out anyway for Bandera, right?
If you're going forward with the project, yes, unless you come up with more grant money.
Right. Janelle's saying it's not in the budget.
Well, no, because, it came in at 6 point something, and we
Yes.
only have 3 point something.
Right.
So either we value engineer it down, or we put in that rest of that money, but we have not set aside money in the budget for it. So I would want to know again, what is that amount that we are committing to put in, and where is that in this application?
So if you look, it's a big package, so I have to look to see what page it's on. I'm not quite sure what page. It talks about the 2575.
So 2575, if we got 500, that would be the 75, so we have to put 125 in additionally, is it like that, or? Wait, how does that?
So if you have, say, 400,000 and they give you 100, then we have to do the other 300. So quarters, so it's a match. They'll do a quarter of it, we do 3/4 kind of.
So if we're requesting 500, they're actually only gonna, they give 125.
No, they're giving 500, they would give 500. If we got approved, they would give 500.
And then how much would we have to give?
Well, then you're gonna give the other 1.5 for a total of 2.
For a total of 2 million, so we would give.
Well, then that means right now we're committing to 1.5 million if we get this, and we have not discussed that.
But the grants work on that, I've already looked through it, the grants work as a match against that. The grants that you've already been given work as the match on there. So you've already matched it.
We've already matched it, then we don't actually have to take 125 out of our budget, right?
You've already matched it. with the
And
grants.
eventually, since you don't have enough, there's no way we're gonna value engineer 3 million out of this. So we're gonna have to put some toward it anyway. This is 500,000 less that we have to put towards whatever we value engineer. So that's the benefit of this.
I don't necessarily agree that we're not gonna value engineer it down to what we have. I mean, we haven't decided that we were putting any money from the budget in it.
No, that has not been decided, but 2 million is a lot to,
3 million, yeah.
well, this would give us, put us higher in that amount,
So-
but yeah.
I see what you're saying, and as
Yeah,
far as,
2 to 2.5, whatever. Yeah, I don't know that we'll be able to cut that much out. That's a pretty significant amount, but if we're gonna put any money towards it, this is gonna help that.
And we're sure that the 1.5 million that we have to put in to get the 500,000 grants that we already have can definitely count for that 1.5?
We're gonna guarantee that before we
Okay.
go forward with this. So that is, I know that Beth is saying that she read through it.
that was what my question was too, like, we're already here anyway, but it's not close.
And we got this the day before the so I apologize, but I wanted to bring it before you because I know we have a short time.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
So there's a lot of work that needs to, well, not a lot of work. There's some work that still needs to be done with maps in order to complete the application, but I wanted council looking at it, reviewing it before and get it on your radar because we will definitely have to approve it for that September 5th deadline.
And just to make sure, Mr. Clay, can you hear everything?
No, I heard it, thank you.
Okay.
I think the deadline's September the 3rd.
Is it the 3rd? Sorry, I had the 5th in my head.
Mr. Mayor, may I make a motion?
Sure.
Might need some help, John. Okay, so I would like to make a motion that we move forward with this Bandera grant that Palmer McIntyre's been working on with the understanding, thank you, you that, the 1.5 that we have, what we already have in grants will equal that 1.5, that we wouldn't have to put 1.5 out of our fund balance. Or however it needs to be worded. Is that good?
Yeah.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Further discussion?
Dana, it sounds like you think it's a good idea too.
Well, if you want to move forward with Bandera, I think you need to do all you can to get some more grants in here, so in that respect, yes, I do. And there are so many grants out there, and it's just pretty much a matter of finding the time to write them. And with the staffing transition, Palmer from Piedmont Land Conservancy taking the time to do this was amazing.
That's wonderful.
And we'd like to thank her for that. She couldn't be here tonight. All over. We have several kids that are all going to college this week, so it's a little hectic. But she and I will talk about this a little more and in depth, and we'll go through it before the finalization and before the submission. But like I said, we got it. She put it together really quick for us. We're bringing it to you, and we'll finalize it. And if there are any issues, we'll bring it back to you. And we have the motion, and that stipulates what we want to confirm before we submit.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll call a question. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries unanimous.
Just give me a second to get to. Looking back and forth in that grant package, that helps. We've had a significant amount of public records requests, and we've also had people checking in on those requests and wondering why they're not getting filled. First, we had to look at all the files, look at the records, and see which ones were open. We had two, say, pools of records that we thought were open based on what previous staff left for us. We took those records, created a system to track them, and there were 64 that were left with the prior administration that were not filled, as far as we knew, based on the records that we had. Jeff has been working on this project tirelessly, and he even discussed some of those records with the requesters, and we determined that 18 of those previous 64 did not need to be filled. The requester said never mind, or potentially that it had already been closed. The oldest of those public record requests dates back to October 17th of 22, with the second oldest being February 2nd of 23. At this point, what Jeff is doing, he's trying to go in order of the requests. He's also researching, number one, to see are they still open, number two, why they haven't been filled, number three, if it's a large amount of information, how do we acquire that amount of information. He's been working nonstop with our IT people to gain access to sort functions to be able to provide these requests. And so then, since the prior administration, so since June 11th, we've had 20 more that have been requested. One was closed. This was as of the agenda packet, because there was no such records. There was one that the requester said, never mind. And so the total requests outstanding at the time of the package was 64. I think we've received several since then, so we're back up into the high 60s in terms of public records requests. So just to let everybody know and let the public know, we are working on them. It's just a long process, and first was setting up the system to determine what was outstanding, and we've now done that, we think. And we're gonna go in order, and some of the larger requests may be delayed because of IT. And once IT has worked with us, then we can get back to those if we have to skip those and go to other requests. But we just wanted to give everybody an update on what the situation was.
Are the oldest ones that haven't been filled, is it because they're huge? Or is it closed session that we haven't approved a release, or do you know?
Don't know, we're working through that to determine why they haven't been filled, but we don't necessarily have the information available to us to determine why they haven't been filled.
I thought that when there was the turnover of IT companies, that they were trying to get them all out, all the public records requests filled by then, and that's why they accidentally let some of them out, the confidential ones. But that was in like March of this year, right?
The IT company, probably the full month was, they started in April.
And we were told that at December 31st, at the end of the year, they were completely caught up with public records requests.
I mean, last year.
At the end of the year, we were told they were completely caught up.
Me lied to
I'm not aware of that, and
Okay.
we were provided with a file of open ones, and the network had a bunch of others that were in a folder that said open. So the only way, and I know Jeff has spoken to some of the individuals with the open ones, and they've determined they are still open, so.
Did you find mine?
Yes,
I know,
Yep.
good,
Yours is in there.
yes.
thank you.
I thought we were way more up to date when staff left. I had no idea that there was this many old ones, and I'm sorry. I don't think there's any way for staff, for council. I think we are all up to date on ours, right? I don't have any outstanding. Do any council have any outstanding PRRs?
Yes.
No, all of council's, ours are all up to date.
Which ones are missing?
Beth?
And it may be a matter of that some of those, we have accumulated the list, but as I said, we haven't gone forward to start filling them, so maybe we haven't notified you. That could be an issue.
Would that be new ones?
Potentially, but
If there's old ones in the stack, they haven't been given to us, so you're not waiting on us.
no, because if you aren't aware that they were open,
Then it's not on us.
it's not on you, no.
Okay.
So you haven't been made aware yet because we're going through them.
Okay.
And so, no, council has not failed to provide anything that has been requested of them, no.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for that update. Item number 11,
Hold on.
I'm sorry, yeah,
Thank you. Dane, I just wanted to say I appreciate your investigation and your efforts in this important topic. I've seen what our interim clerk Jeff has created to help manage EPRs. I'm really impressed with his organization. Please do let us know if there's anything that we can do to help you with these exceedingly long public record requests.
Thank you.
you.
Thank you very much.
item number 11, business from the mayor and council, A, water project update.
I'll take that. We met with Friesen Nichols, Keith and I met with Friesen Nichols and Dana this last month, and they're moving forward with the original schedule and intend to submit the 75% design completion by the end of August. The survey field work is complete and the data is currently being processed. Geotechnical will be released soon based on the final tank placement after review of survey. Per their scope, they have coordinated with the North Carolina Historic Preservation Office and determined that a cultural resources study is required. We picked a multi-leg tank style, and we're working on the design of the tank, and they're working on a picture to get to you guys, to get your feedback from the public. We'll be hopefully when we get that picture, we'll be able to post it and ask you guys if you have any input to email us, but we are moving forward with the tank and the lines with phase 1, and the 75% will be done end of August. So I'm guessing they will present at the next meeting, or we will present for them.
There was a listening meeting last October. We've had no public participation at all in this for a year.
Ms. Gunn, it's not the time.
Well, how else can we ask?
Does
What are you
anyone
supposed to do
else
if I
have
come here
any
once a month and for 5 minutes? We have no public participation, we have questions.
Thank you.
Back around
So
February,
again, you're going to screw with us.
back around February, I think Lynn was talking, around the, I know it's not exactly on topic, but it's related to it. Lynn was talking about helping with the fire department, helping with the maintenance, the tanks, once we can get them. Whitaker has suggested that we write a formal request to the fire district board and the county to aid such discussions. Does anybody know if that letter was ever written to the county?
I don't know. I don't think so. I never heard about it, if so.
That is probably something that we should do, I think, if we're going to have these tanks. I know there was considerable interest in having the fire department help with them, and so I do think he was right that we should do a formal request. We should probably follow up with that.
Keith, did you want to add anything since you were at that meeting, or is that covered well?
Yeah, you did a fantastic job getting this done. I appreciate it.
Yep.
Item B, A&Y Greenway update.
Okay, I'll take that.
I know, everyone's, you know what that's.
Well, I had asked for that because I just wanted to confirm that all the contracts were signed. Sorry, Dana. Sorry. That the contracts were signed because I think that was like the last step and they hadn't been, but now we've got them signed and they're ready to move forward. So we're just in motion, is that?
Yes, yes. So after the meeting, when you approved it, I signed that contract, sent that forward to them, and they are working on it, yes.
Okay, that's it.
And their forum update, item C.
I guess I had requested that, but Dana went into great detail about where we were and getting money and how we're gonna fund it. We don't have anything back for them about value engineering.
That's on us. I communicated with them, until we get a new manager, someone's gonna have to sit down and do a deep dive into it and look at the grants and what we have agreed to do to get the money to start value engineering, and that's not something that we've asked Dana to do. That's, once we
I
get a
just
new
didn't know
manager.
if we heard anything.
No, and I think, I think there was some confusion on who was doing that value engineering.
They're waiting on us.
Yeah,
And
okay.
whether it was us or them,
Okay.
and I thought it was them, but I found out that it's us.
No, $1 million doesn't cover.
All right.
So and I told them once we get a new manager, that'll be very top on the priority list for the new manager, but we need, we'll need the new manager to do a deep dive into all the details of it and do that.
I'll ask one more question on that, and I don't mind going and asking. Dana, do you know any other places that I could ask for grants other than Palmer that?
I think Palmer is pretty up on most of the grants and the applications coming through. I think she would know more than anyone else what's out there.
Okay, I've asked her.
I'm pretty confident. I don't,
What about PTRC?
Well, funny you mentioned that. Today you got an email from somebody from Lori Cooper's office and asked, they're coming to town next couple of days, and I just asked him if there was anywhere we could reach out to get money. So he's reached out to somebody that he knows, and I'm waiting to hear back from them, but just found that out today.
Okay, so possibly
Yes.
that and maybe Dana.
Yes.
yes.
Yeah, I got that same email, and I saw it this afternoon, and I called to see if it'd be appropriate to announce that to citizens, and he didn't write me back, and I texted him, he hadn't texted me back, so.
Made it seem like it was.
But it's tomorrow.
At Lawton, right?
At, I think at 3 or 3:30, yeah.
I confirm with them that I'm attending. I'm trying to see if there's, 3 o'clock at Lawton. I got it too, I saw it right before I walked in here.
And you're going?
He just asked if we had any questions, so I thought I'd throw it out there.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I'm attending.
Anything else? On C. Why don't we have a D? A, B, C, E,
Must have gotten erased.
mystery. Okay, item E. Traffic concern from citizens.
That is me. A Summerfield resident reached out to the council and the mayor about a traffic issue, a concern along 150. He said there's a lot of reckless driving, speeding, and racing. He's been aware of some other activity up and down the road. He's informed me of several fatalities along the road, and he's concerned that there's going to be more issues there. He contacted the North Carolina Department of Transportation, and they recommended just an increased police action using digital speed signs, more enforcement. They said that the blind curve is signed for and existing signs are placed appropriately. They agree that the drivers are ignoring the speed limit and just encourage more police action. So I called one of the sergeants within our county district. He said he would have a digital sign up, and actually there is one there now. But the residents also still worried that it's just a temporary fix. I agree. Of course, once that comes down, people forget about it. Once the officers are not around anymore, people will speed there again. There could be more accidents. He also reached out to Commissioner Carly Cook, and I've been incidentally playing phone tag with her as well. And she left me a message actually, and she said that she's going to work on getting increased enforcement, a traffic study, and see if there's any other options to increase the safety. I also saw where the North Carolina Department of Transportation communicated with her about the traffic study, and they're most likely to start that here in a couple of weeks after school because of the hectic traffic patterns that will be created when school starts. She was very helpful, so I wanted to bring this up, and at this point I think we would follow back up after the traffic study unless somebody else has any other ideas to help.
Y'all just lowered the speed limit last year, didn't we? Right, Liam?
Yes.
Yep.
What is that?
We lowered the speed limit, so the speed limit has been lowered. What if they put one of the sheriff's department or somebody put one of the signs out and like that flashes what your speed is?
That's what they're doing.
That's what
That's just temporary.
I asked her that they'll have it there for a little bit. They only have a couple
What
of
about like, or maybe another one, or just have somebody like sheriff road traffic, state trooper road traffic through there for
I was wondering if a light that flashes when traffic is approaching would benefit there. Because it seems like from residents that live over there, they pretty much, when they see nobody coming, they floor it out of the one subdivision because they know that traffic's going to be coming at full speed. So I was wondering if lights such as that could be placed. I don't know if that's an option, but that's one thing to consider. I mean, I've seen many in my time, so.
All right. Well, Dana, as the conversation continues, and I'll just keep you involved on it, and if there's something we can do, we will. Like I said, I anticipate they'll have a traffic study out there right a couple weeks after school starts.
And I imagine they'll make recommendations based on the traffic study and what their ideas are.
Yeah, and we can ask about that and see if we get something like that there.
And just to let you know that last email had a next door post in it, and the email didn't have the full post in it, but the individual that was injured had like a mild concussion, broken this and that. So it was pretty severe accident, and they're lucky to be alive. So just to let you know.
Any other discussion
Where is this?
on E?
They asked where it was.
Does someone ask something?
Yeah, where is it?
Along 150 as you're going towards Food Line, coming from the grill to Food Line.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
That flashing light there that tells you the speed, that's only on one side of the road, that's not on both sides.
It's not, I wasn't sure. I saw it, I didn't check it.
I'm pretty sure it's only on the one going to the Food Line from Strawberry, not coming.
Gotcha.
Are there private firms that could be hired to patrol and write tickets? Because they have to be registered, but it's not.
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Well, maybe, but I don't know if it'd be legal.
I don't know that either. I think signs are a good job, but unless they're being enforced, they really do nothing in my opinion. We pass laws about cell phone use when we're driving, but nobody ever enforces it, so it doesn't fit, right? Sorry.
Mr. Stiles, you want to say something?
Yeah, I'll just give a little bit. I do have a little bit of a background in designing like pedestrian-friendly areas for cars. And to my knowledge, the only real way to get vehicles to slow down, aside from just having a cop there, is a change in the driving surface or narrowing the driveway of the road. And, obviously that's not an option. I'm not that familiar with the area that we're talking about. I don't know if street trees would be appropriate in that space that can be an effective means of slowing down traffic. And I don't know if DOT would be open to, adding some sort of texture to the road there.
You're on the planning board now, right?
Yes, I am.
Good, I'll keep you in the conversation, then maybe I'll give you a call too.
It's a rumble strip.
Yeah, like a rumble, yeah, they can do rumble strips across the road or something. And if it's that severe, then they may be willing to work with something like that.
Thank you.
Any other discussion on E? Moving on to F, committee reappointments.
Okay, so on the committee reappointments, we have no pending application for finance, but we do have one vacancy. So if there's anybody out there, or you have friends that want to get involved in the town, then please ask them to submit an application to Town Hall, and then John and I will take it from there. As far as Founder's Day, we do have three vacancies open for Founder's Day. It's lots of fun, and everybody's always happy. So please tell your friends to come out and help and join Founder's Day. Let's see.
Are we gonna vote on, you talked about finance first.
Well, there was nothing to vote on here because they're not up this time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm just updating everybody. On the history committee, there is one vacancy, and we do have an application that just came in right when the packets were being distributed. So John and I are going to take care of that. So we're just going to kind of put a pause on history, and we'll come back in September after we've had time to interview that person. And then the Trails and Open Space Committee, there's no pending applications and there's no vacancy. So we're good on that one.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Just to make sure I understand. So on the finance committee, there are two folks there, and I think they expired on the roster. It shows July 2024.
Yes.
So, but we don't have to vote to have them reappointed. We just let them sit.
No. There is a vote needed for
That's
these
what I thought.
individuals.
That's what I thought.
Oh, I see. I'm
So
sorry. I'm looking at the page where it's written out and it has their expiring term.
So
okay.
I'm looking at that, not the individual. I apologize.
that's okay. So I guess for the finance committee, we need to make a vote. Are we going to decide whether or not Ronnie Carpenter and Wendell Parks, we're going to extend their terms, right?
Did they express interest in extending their terms?
Yes, I've talked to both of them. So would it be best for everybody if we go back and do these one at a time now? Like vote committee by committee, or should we do one whole vote? I think in the past we've done each individual committee.
We can do finance. I can go ahead and make a motion now for the finance committee.
Okay, go ahead.
I move that Rodney Carpenter, who is eligible for a second two-year term, has that term expiring July 2026, and that Wendell Parks, who is eligible for another one-year extended term expiring July 2025, has that term, and be reappointed with that term expiration date.
And I'll second that.
Have a motion and a second Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries unanimous.
Is that finance? That's finance.
That's finance.
I have a question.
Yes.
Um,